You guys are getting new movie reviews rather frequently. Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be reviewing the Banana Splits movie. Oh boy, this one's a mixed bag of emotions. But I guess if we're going to review the Banana Splits movie, we have to talk about its history real quick. So this is actually based off something from this Hanna-Barbera property from the 60s. That's obviously the Warner Brothers company. And as a lot of people may know in the FNAF community, that Warner Brothers actually originally had the rights to make the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but then between creative differences, Scott took the production to Blumhouse, which I think is a much better option for a FNAF movie. And apparently rumors floated around, they're still floating around, it's not very clear or unclear. The fact is, though, a lot of people think the script that was used for this movie was a tweaked script that was originally planned for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And if that's the truth, Scott, I see why you pulled away from Universal. Now, I'm going to try my best to judge this movie on its own merits, even though it's really hard not to. Because, one, making them animatronics is obviously the FNAF. Because in the original, they're just dudes in suits. But like, this is legit making them animatronics. This is FNAF influence. I don't care what anyone says. This movie is influenced by FNAF regardless. Because FNAF is the one that made the scary animatronic genre popular. So let's talk about this movie real quick. Because there's a lot to talk about with this movie. Like, I mean a lot to talk about with this movie. Like, not a little, a whole bunch. So, and I actually want to do a VTR breakdowns on my breakdowns channel about this movie. That's how crazy this movie is. I don't feel like I can do it justice just by reviewing it, but I'm gonna do my best to review it without in the traditional format. So, I can go off the bat and say it's not good, but it's not terrible. If you're going into this movie expecting a complete dumpster fire or something not the best, you're not gonna be disappointed by this movie because you get what you get. Like, I wasn't expecting good effects. I wasn't expecting a fantastic story. I wasn't going in expecting funny, good dialogue. I wasn't expecting good acting, and 90%, I got what I expected. Now, don't be wrong, a lot of the time, let's go with characters first. Start with characters. The characters are either annoying as heck and very hateable, or forgettable. Like, legit, they're just like, this movie makes you want to hate almost every character. There's this social media influencer character, you hate him. There's this, like, this dad that wants to make his daughter famous, you hate him. There's this the dad of the main kid in the movie, you hate him. There's this one actor that's in the show with the Banana Splits, you hate him. There's the CEO character, you hate him. And then there's characters like you don't even have time to hate them. Like, they barely show any screen time. Like, the balance of screen time for certain characters is not the best. I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is, I do think, even though the kids' performances are not the best, like, they're really not the best. This is, like, not the best kid actors I've seen. But I don't really want to crap on kid actors that much, even though their performances were not that great. I'm not gonna lie. Especially some of the extras that were in this movie, like, they just, like, did not want to be here. I could tell, like, they just needed a paycheck, needed to get to their bills, and just like... So yeah, a lot of the characters are just, eh. There was nothing really offensive about the characters or anything like that. Let's go ahead and jump into, talking about the, well, with characters, we gotta talk about the Banana Splits themselves. Now, you may recognize some of the voices, because all the voices are done by one guy. They're recreated from the originals, because that's... He does a really good job at imitating the original voices, which is really cool. And the movie just is really fun in that manner. Though the best part of the movie is the Banana Splits. I'm not gonna lie, like, you have fun when they're on screen. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks fake. It looks crappy. You can tell they're suits and not animatronics. But you're having fun with them on screen. And I don't think the goal was to make something convincing. I think it was to rip off FNAF. I'm not gonna lie. I legit thought this movie is riding off the coattail of Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't care what anyone says. This movie is riding off the popularity of Five Nights at Freddy's. Almost everyone that has seen this movie has said that. And the actors that are actually the suits of the banana splits are dancers. Like, I'm not even joking. Look up the behind the scenes. If you have the Blu-ray of this movie, which I unfortunately didn't get to grace my Blu-ray collection with this movie. I have a normal DVD of it, but is that really that big of a disappointment? Like, seriously? Like, am I really that disappointed there's not a Blu-ray of the Banana Splits movie in my Blu-ray collection? No. Now, it's obviously a horror. Let's get into the story. The story is generic-ish. It kind of has, at some point, a Willy Wonka vibe. Like, I'm not even joking. It has a Willy Wonka vibe. Like, what the heck? You don't go into a movie like this expecting Willy Wonka vibe. I'm like, the story is just fine. It's stuff we've seen before. I'll tell you though, this ain't no FNAF though, I'll tell you that. That's one department that didn't rip the story off from. Because this is its own thing. Don't even try to say you got your inspiration from FNAF, which we know you did. But don't try to say you did because we'll know you're lying. At least for the story portion. Now, you can't talk about this. The set is one of my favorite parts of this movie, actually, because it's actually on an actual, like, sound stage. Like, you get to see stuff of a sound stage you don't usually get to see in movies, which I think is a really neat concept and could be done better in a different movie. Like, we should have that in a different movie, not in this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie could have been better, and the thing is, it's just riding off the coattail of Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not gonna lie, that's what it feels like. The fact is, the thing is, it's funny at points. Like, the banana splits make you laugh. I'm not gonna lie, and not in the way like they'll make the little kids laugh. Just the fact of, like, there's one scene. Spoilers. Do you really care about spoilers for the Banana Splits movie? Like, seriously, where Drooper, I think, is the dog ones. I don't remember their names, but he freaking saws the character in half, and then he goes, ta-da! And I'm like, that's funny. I don't know if that was meant to be funny, but it's funny. And all they're talking is pretty much, like, based on the predetermined recording audio of the animatronics. So that's actually really funny to actually use that for actual conversation and stuff. It's really fun. One reason that, though, I just didn't enjoy this movie that much is just the third, like, around the third act, not even the third act, like in the second act or something, like, the movie tries to get bad butt on you, and I'm like, no, the mom character, she tries to go, like, freaking, what's the chick's name from Jurassic World? You can't tell me she wasn't trying to rip her off in this movie. I don't care. It felt like they were. I'm like sitting there like, yeah, I see what you doing. I see what you doing. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that is painfully obvious that's what they were doing. And it's the fact this movie has the audacity to try to tease for a freaking sequel. No one wants a second freaking one of these movies. No one. Even people that probably actually enjoy this movie probably don't want a second one. Like, what would you even do with a sequel to this? Like, legit. If you've seen the movie and you want to know, if you have an idea what you think a sequel could be, Post a comment. I'd love to read that. Repeat, there's probably a fan fiction out there as a sequel to this movie. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact is, this movie is bland. It's forgettable. Like, why did we need this in existence? Like, Warner Brothers, you could have done so much better than this. And you've done good horror. It and It Chapter 2 are both great movies. But you give us this. I will go out and say I'm glad they didn't have the I'm glad they didn't have the guts to put this on the big screen. Like, legit, the movie is rated R, but I'm pretty sure that's just for the gore's sake. Because like the rest of it feels PG-13 barely. Here's one thing about the movie though I will point out. The kills are inventive. The freaking they may not be that look the best, but the one where the guy gets sawed in half, that's actually kind of cool, and as a character you did not like, and just the fact that when a horror movie has creative kills like that, I gotta give it plops. I gotta give it, and there's one that I thought was really interesting that I'm not gonna give away because it was just really interesting, and I'm not gonna give it away because, will I say watch this movie? No. Well, yes, I do recommend it, but like it's bad. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like not terrible. Like it's not like fine. Like I've said about some other movies in the past. Like I don't even know if I would say if this was better. If this is as bad as Cats, because I don't think it is as bad as Cats. But what I will say about this movie is its rating. It gets a low 3 out of 5. No, I take that back. It gets a 2.5 out of 5. It gets a 2.5. Will I ever rewatch this? Definitely. Like, there's always like, oh, I don't know, probably not. But like with this, definitely. This is like, I don't drink. I don't condone drinking or anything because like, I don't like alcohol or anything like that. But I feel like this is a movie. If you got together with your buddies that do drink and you drink, this would be a fun movie to get together and watch and drink to. I'm not gonna lie. I guarantee it would be. I don't drink. I never will. But I just think that's a fun. It's laughably bad, and like even though I give it a 2.5, it's still I had fun with it. Like do I really need to give it a 2.5 though? Because I had more fun with this than I did with Cats. Oh, this is hard to rate this one. You know what? We will give this a 2. We'll give this a 3. I'll give this a 3. It's not as bad as Cats, but it's not worse than it either. So I don't know. I really don't know what to rate this. I really don't know what to rate this movie. Like I legit don't. Alright, we're going to stick with the 2.5, strictly because it's a FNAF ripoff. That brings the points down lower, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I do want to do a video of this for my VTR's Breakdowns channel, so definitely keep an eye out for that when I do that. I probably will do it very soon. I will be graduating. I'll be graduating high school soon, guys. Oh my god, it's crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!